78 Sports TV here. Salute to the mighty LDBC. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe, turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified when I drop a new video. And if you're digging the video, go ahead and share this joint. I'm joined by a very special guest, my brother Two for TV. What it do, Two?
Yeah, I'm doing good, brother. Just hanging in there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So today, man, we're going to talk about Stephen A. Smith. A few days ago, Stephen A. Smith made an asinine comment that Giannis, if he doesn't win another championship in his career would have underachieved in his career. Now these are narratives being pushed by ESPN. Nobody else in the world is talking about this except for ESPN. ESPN has been angry with Giannis because they can't bully him into leaving the Milwaukee Bucks, a small market team, and joining the New York Knicks or joining the Miami Heat or joining the LA Lakers. They've been trying his entire career since he became a star. They've been trying to push the agendas to get Giannis to leave. Even coming up with fake stories like Shams talking about Giannis for the first time in his career is thinking about leaving. Giannis never said this. Nobody ever heard him say it. But these are the agendas that ESPN push and the narratives that they push to try to get these players away from small markets and into big markets. But anyway, Jay Will called out Stephen A. Smith today and said that it was a ridiculous statement. He brought up other players and said, okay, well, if Giannis would have underachieved, if he don't win another championship, mind you, he won a championship in Milwaukee, the first championship in 50 years. He didn't go join up with some super team to win a championship and get some cheap ring. He stayed with who drafted him, and he won. When everybody told him he had to leave, he stayed. But so now we're trying to discredit his championship and say he got to win another one. What's your thoughts on it, Tua?
Well, my thoughts is how many Pulitzers have Stephen A. Smith won in his so-called illustrious career?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? How many of those he's won? How many journalism awards on a lower scale have he won in his career? Only thing he talks about is ratings, which, if I'm not mistaken, I don't even know. I'm not even certain if his show has the highest ratings on ESPN altogether anyway. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, Giannis won a championship on a small market team. There's a lot of small market teams that haven't even had NBA final appearances yet. So for what Giannis did, which was unexpected, and people forget that the Suns were up 2-0 in their finals. Plus, Giannis was hurt. Most of us thought that Giannis had broken his leg in the series before against the Atlanta Hawks in the conference finals. So the performance that Giannis put on, averaging like 35 and 15 or something like that in that series, a 50-point closeout game, 2-time league MVP. I believe he's a Defensive Player of the Year award winner. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, multiple-time All-Star Game MVP, I believe. The dude's a superstar. And to say that because he only has one championship that he's underachieved. Okay, well, does that mean that Jokic is underachieved? He's a 3-time league MVP.
Right. Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah, does that mean Dirk Nowitzki underachieved? Because he got one title. Dr. J underachieved? He got one title. Karl Malone got none. Stockton has none. A lot of guys have none. Elgin Baylor has none. So I don't know what you're talking about. Not you, I'm talking about him. I don't know what you're talking about saying that he's underachieved. You know what I'm saying? That's just, like you said, him being salty because he can't control Giannis.
Yeah. He's trying to push a narrative that nobody. And Jay Will, I'm glad Jay Will called him out on it. He said, like, bro, you pushing this narrative, just like the whole narrative of, Stephen A. Smith said, Doc Rivers will never coach in the NBA again if he's not successful in Milwaukee. Who said that? What GM, what owner told you this? Nobody told you this. This is you are creating. This is what I'm saying. The damage this type of guy like Stephen A. Smith can do. He creates narratives. He sits on television and creates BS narratives and act like it's the narrative of the people. Like that's what the streets is talking about, but it's not. It's him sitting down in front of a camera making up stuff. This same guy said that the Bucks should trade Giannis But the year before we won the championship, because his sources told him that Giannis was leaving the Bucks, which was a complete lie. Right. Then after we win the championship, he sit back again and tries to say that Giannis should leave Milwaukee and go to a bigger market team. He sat there and hated on the Bucks the whole time we was in the finals, talking about he don't like the city of Milwaukee. It's too cold, and he don't like the hotels, don't have room service. Dude, this is supposed to be about basketball, and you sitting here crying and whining about hotel room service. You talking about a player shouldn't play for a city because it's cold. You talking about the nightlife. Oh, ain't nothing to do in Milwaukee. You are a grown 57-year-old man talking about telling these young players to get off of their weed. But at the same time, you telling them they should make their decision on basketball based off of the nightlife. You a clown. You are a 57-year-old failure. You ain't got no wife. That's right. I'm calling you an underachiever, a failure. What is you doing? You still running around here like you 20-some years old. You ain't no better than these young boys. Why you out here talking crazy, Stephen A? This is ridiculous. But go ahead, Terrell.
Yeah, he won. He's literally one vindictive, crazy chick away from being right where Shannon Sharp is, right where all these other guys are. You know what I'm saying? And if it wasn't for damage control, he would have been. You know what I'm saying? He would have been in that position. So it's like, the way this guy gets on his high horse and critiques everybody else is just crazy to me, man. You know what I'm saying? And the thing that really bothers me about him is the way that he weaponizes his bully pulpit against people who don't kiss his ASS.
Yep.
If you don't kiss his ASS, if you don't acquiesce to his demands, you know what I'm saying? If you don't have if he reaches out to you and you don't play ball as far as being I don't want to say contributor, but if you don't basically if you don't play ball with him, then he will go out there and spin narratives to harm a player. And ultimately, with the power that he does have, especially if it's a guy who's a little more under the radar, he can legitimately hurt players' careers. He can hurt their salaries. And you can tell the people who he protects because this guy constantly, at least from what I've been able to tell, he constantly protects James Harden for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
All the stuff that James Harden's been, involved with, on the police blotters, arrested and stuff, and all the incidents he got with fans, he always protecting him. But for some reason, he's always had it in for Kyrie Irving, who's never been in trouble legally. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, or like with Giannis, he don't particularly care for, well, I'm not saying just like Giannis, but he can't control Giannis. And at the end of the day, since he can't control Giannis, he's going to fight back at him, like you said, by putting out this BS narrative about if he don't win another title, then he's going to underachieve. Well, the thing about it is, a small market is less likely to win multiple championships. The San Antonio Spurs is an aberration. I'm going to tell you somebody who has underachieved, in my opinion, a certain player that plays for the Lakers, one of the most prestigious franchises in history. All he got is a bubble title. But, nobody says that he underachieved.
Right. Absolutely. And to that point about the Stephen A. Smith, I'll sit there and watch this man. I watch him and other people in the media on ESPN push Anthony Davis to leave the Pelicans. I saw them every day talking about Anthony Davis can't win with the Pelicans. He need to go to the Lakers. They pushed that dude and created a whole environment that was cool for this guy to leave and go to the Lakers, right? I saw them drag Kevin Durant for not winning in OKC. Then when the man joins up with a super team, they crucify him for that. The same dude who was just dragging him for not winning, now crucifying him for joining with the Warriors. Stephen A. Smith is a clown, man.
Hey, he picks and chooses. So it's like So let me get this straight. Like you said, he said that KD going to the Warriors was the weakest move in NBA history, right? Fine. A lot of people felt the same way. And like you said, when he thought that KD might go sign with the Knicks,
right,
who's supposedly his favorite team, he pushes KD to go east and prove you could lead a team to a championship, thinking he'll go to the Knicks. KD goes to the Nets, fails on a super team, but now all of a sudden, since you know KD is no longer in his prime and he has no intentions of going to the Knicks, now so they don't care about him failing on super teams. Right. Now he can go to the Nets and fail. He can go to the Suns and fail. Now it looks like he'll go to the Spurs and probably fail there, but that don't affect his legacy. Somehow KD is still a top 10 player according to Nigga but Giannis, though, is a failure if he only wins one title on a small market team.
Crazy. Unbelievable.
How does that work?
It's unbelievable, bro. These narratives by Stephen A. Smith and ESPN, I'm just so tired of it. I sat back and watched these dudes, ESPN, create these narratives for years. I watched them destroy and split up teams. I watched them do it to Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady. I watched them do it to Shaq and Penny. I watched them even to a degree do it to Shaq and Kobe to a degree. I seen them do it throughout. I seen them try to do it to Giannis and Chris Middleton the year we was winning the championship. The whole playoff run is Giannis is not the Batman. Chris Middleton is Batman. Giannis is right. Like, dude, this all they do, right? Constantly trying to have these stupid debates on TV to get them something to talk about and split up teams. And I'm glad Giannis has proven once again that he's loyal to the soil. He's a Milwaukee Buck through and through. Haters gonna try to, he ain't gonna win no more. Y'all said he wasn't gonna win one. We already got a championship. Giannis can play the rest of his career guilt-free, pressure-free. And anything else he does right from now on is icing on the cake to furthermore establish his legacy. He don't have to do nothing else. All right, how you gonna have? Didn't Stephen A. Smith just last week have his top 5 point guards in NBA history? And didn't he have Chris Paul on there? What the hell has Chris Paul ever won? Is he not an underachiever? I'm just asking.
You know the excuse that he give Chris Paul? I've heard him say it. Well, Chris Paul's a little guy. Chris Paul's a little man, so you can't really expect him. Yeah. So Chris Paul's a little man, so you can't really expect him to. Well, man, look. For last I checked, Chris Paul is what, 6'2"?
Okay, but why he don't get that excuse to Russell Westbrook?
Thank you.
I mean, Russell Westbrook ball. He balled all the way out. This man got MVPs. This man. I remember Russell Westbrook had took the Wizards to the playoffs, and I remember Stephen A. Smith getting on TV talking about means nothing to me. Means nothing. If he ain't winning the championship, I mean, we know Russ is great. He's got to win a championship. These playoff wins and all this stuff means nothing. What? So Russ can't get no props for nothing else until he win a championship, according to Stephen A. No hairline having Smith. Ridiculous.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous.
Unbelievable, man.
I'm still trying to figure out how you have Chris Paul ahead of Oscar Robertson, who has a championship and been to 2 finals, and ahead of John Stockton, who's the all-time leader in assists. I don't understand it.
Makes no sense.
Especially if you consider all the superstars and all-stars that Chris Paul's played with.
Yeah, Chris Paul didn't play with some. I don't know. Wait a minute. He had Chris Paul ahead of John Stockton? Did he have him ahead of Isaiah Thomas too?
No, he didn't have him ahead of Isaiah Thomas. Oh, okay. I think his top 5 was Magic, Steph Curry, Isaiah Thomas. He had Chris Paul 5, and at 4 he had who the hell did he have at 4?
So he had Oscar Robertson.
No, he didn't have Oscar at all.
Oh, he didn't have Oscar?
No, he didn't have Oscar at all. He said something to the effect of he's not going to put anybody on the list that he didn't watch play.
Oh, okay.
Right. So my thing is, okay, well, just say my top 5 point guards the last 30 years.
Yeah.
Or last 40 years. Just say that. You can't say all time if you're not including anything before 1980.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Just say my top 5 point guards the last 40 years. Then you know what I'm saying. I'm trying to remember who else he had on his list. Jason Kidd.
Oh,
Jason Kidd was number 4. Yeah, Jason Kidd was number 4.
Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, but yeah. I don't know how Chris Paul. Chris Paul to me is just grossly overrated. Yes, he's a good point guard, a good player, but like the way people just call him the point guard and all this stuff, and the man ain't never won nothing, but then turn around and act like Russell Westbrook is the worst player they ever seen in their life. I'm like, okay, well, if Chris Paul is miles ahead of Russ, why he ain't won nothing? Like, you can't keep having these weak excuses, man. It's ridiculous. But anyway, man, tell the people they can find you, bro.
Yeah, they can find me on YouTube under the handle Apocalypse X-Man, but YouTube channel is Too Raw for TV. And you can also find me on the Patreon under Too Raw for TV.
Yes, indeed, man. Thank y'all for joining us, man. Appreciate the support. Smash that like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see y'all on the next time. We're out of here. Deuces.
Peace.